Welcome to Prestige Worldwide, the podcast, a weekly battle of wits, debating everything from horseshoes to hand grenades, all for the privilege to be called right. And now, your hosts, Bobo and Travis.
Hey guys, welcome to Prestige Worldwide, the podcast. I am Travis. With me as always is Bobo. Hey buddy. Hello.
What's up, buddy?
What was that?
Technical difficulties, take two.
Jesus.
No, actually what that was a humongous flash of lightning that literally distracted me for a moment.
Nice.
I thought I was going to die.
Oh, well, you wouldn't have died. You're in a car.
Isn't that not safe?
No, it's safe because your tires are rubber, so you're grounded. So I think.
Oh yeah, fucking right, dude.
I really think if your car got struck by lightning, you'd be perfectly fine.
Oh, good. Well, then I'm all right. Then I'm not scared anymore. So, oh wow, there's another lightning flash. Holy fuck!
And I am perfectly okay with testing out that theory on you.
You know what? I'm gonna go Ben Franklin on this thing. So, for the listeners at home and wondering why it sounds like I'm recording my voice through mono, through boombox, and a trash can,
right?
It's because I am. I'm on my phone. Because I lost power about probably 2 hours ago now?
Something like that.
Because we're having terrible storms in this area, and it hasn't come back yet because I live in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of what used to be called White America.
Right.
Now it's Redneck America.
No. I mean, I believe I believe now more than ever it is White America and White Pride America.
Yes,
yeah.
White Pride America. So the power lines here are not buried underground, so I'm sure a tree knocked them over.
Right. So we're batting 1,000 here at Prestige Worldwide, the podcast, with having problems with our equipment and or our electricity. So
yeah, we're going to talk about that at the end for the end times. We got a whole thing to talk about with the electricity and our technical difficulties, and we'll talk about it. But
sure,
we're going to save that for end times because we have a voicemail that's relevant to last week we want to play.
Well, we got a voicemail about last week's episode. So, and I don't know who this is from. They didn't leave a message. I will say I thought I recognized the voice, but I don't recognize the phone number, so I'm not sure. It sounds like a listener we've had or a friend we've had on, Andy, but I'm not sure that it's him or not. So we'll play it now and we'll see.
Hey guys, first time, long time. Just wanted to say this week's episode was your best yet. 10 minutes is about all I can handle you for. So keep up the great work, or just throw your computer out a window so I don't have to listen to it anymore. Bye.
So somebody likes our 10-minute episodes.
Oh, you know what? Good. I'm glad somebody likes it.
And
I mean, I would have liked recording it more if we weren't so fucking exasperated by the end of it.
Right, yes.
And defeated.
Well, we're always defeated, so it really, we should be used to it at this point.
That's true. This week especially, double down on the defeated.
Right. So,
but
Bobo is sitting in his rusted out, probably Nissan Maxima.
It's not a Nissan Maxima, but it's a similar make and model, shitty foreign built car.
Right.
With hundreds of thousands of miles on it. Recording on my phone because I have no phone service in my house when the power goes out because I need Wi-Fi assist to have power because I live in fucking Redneck America.
Right.
God's country, as they call it.
I guess some people do call it that, but let's move off of how shitty Bobo's life is and get on to how shitty Bobo's life is.
Yes, absolutely.
So
we had a great idea for a podcast last week that's brought to you by Bobo's Rage. And Travis, I'm here to tell you, old Bobo is back.
Okay.
So your old boy Bobo, who's sitting in his fucking rusted out 200,000+ mile piece of shit car,
right,
is still sitting in that car because buying a new car, I just can't do it. The process for buying cars in 2018 is barbaric.
Now, let's be clear here. Now, were you trying to buy a new car or just a new used car?
A new car.
Oh, Bubba was going to buy a new car.
Okay, so here's the story. I am a man of, I read,
Okay.
You know, I read articles, I read stories, I read news articles, whatever. I read Jalopnik is a website for car enthusiasts.
Okay. I just like that you started this off by boasting about your literacy. But keep going.
I am literate, Travis.
Right.
Let the record show. Occasionally I read. Anyways, have you ever heard of Jalopnik? No. Jalopnik is a website that is basically devoted to like car enthusiasts and car gurus and like people that enjoy cars.
Okay.
It's a cool website. It's very popular. Sure. For people that are into that to cars. But they had posted a article about, so did you hear the other week that Ford basically announced they're going to stop building passenger cars other than the Mustang?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's relevant to that. So Ford posted a few weeks ago, for people that don't know, that they're basically going to stop production of passenger cars in America. Right. They're going to build the Mustang still, and they're going to build the Focus, but they're going to turn it into like a crossover.
Oh, okay.
Called the Focus Active. So it's not going to be like a passenger car anymore. It's going to be like a crossover.
Okay.
And that's it. They're going to get rid of the Taurus and get rid of the Fusion and get rid of the Focus and get rid of the Fiesta and all this nonsense.
Okay.
All those cars are going the way of the dodo bird.
Right.
Well, because of that, and because of rising gas prices, and because Honda released the Honda Civic Type R, which is a super high performance version of the Honda Civic.
Right.
Ford has two versions of the Focus out right now that are high performance versions. They have the Focus ST and the Focus RS.
Okay.
The Focus RS is like a $35,000, 350 horsepower all-wheel drive monster of a hatchback.
Okay.
The Focus ST is a 250 horsepower turbocharged front-wheel drive, kind of a monster of a hatchback.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of explaining here.
Are we finding the point anywhere close?
Promise.
Yeah, we finding the point anywhere close to this?
Yes. Okay. The Focus ST is a terribly designed and marketed car because it now sits between all these other cars that are better than it. Okay. Focus, Ford makes another version of the Focus now, the RS, that costs like $10,000 more. That's a much better car. Like, it's like one of the best cars ever built. Okay. It's fucking phenomenal. Honda makes a high-performance car called the Type R, which is a much better car than this Focus ST. Okay. Because of that, and because Ford announced they're going to basically stop making the Focus, no one's buying the ST. So this Focus ST, no one's buying.
So you're sniffing out a deal.
Well, let me tell you about these deals, Travis. Okay, when you go, have you ever bought a new car?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, when you bought your last new car, you don't have to tell us what the car was or the price was.
Okay.
How far below invoice did you pay for the car?
Geez, I don't even know.
Like, percentage-wise, give us a ballpark.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm trying to... so the last time I bought a new car was 5 years ago.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how much below... You know what? I'm not sure. At that point, I was much more focused on getting the monthly payment that I wanted.
That's how they get you, Travis.
Well, yes and no. Because I wanted a monthly payment at a certain time period. Okay. So I didn't, so that was my focus on that one. So I didn't I didn't want to spread it out over like 7 years.
I'll explain how they got you when I get to my story, but they got you. Anyways. So let me tell you about the deals on the Focus ST right now, Travis. Jalopnik ran the article about now's a good time to buy a Focus ST and a Focus RS because the Honda Civic Type R is eating them for lunch, and Ford discontinued the car basically. Okay. The MSRP on a Focus ST, a base model Focus ST, is like $25,900. Okay. There are prices right now, legit, below invoice prices of $17,000. Oh. We're talking $9,000 off invoice on a car that's only $25,000. All right. That is like unheard of, Travis, for cars. Right. Yes. I mean, that's ridiculous. I've been talking to these dealerships, getting a price out after tax, title, and tags of $20,000. Nice. For a car with an MSRP of close to $26,000. Now, is that with like a trade-in or anything? No, nothing. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The deals are ridiculous. So I read this article, and my car is a fucking rust bucket of shit. Right. That I realized 2 weeks ago needs about $3,000 of work to pass inspection. Right. So it's not passing inspection. So, Bobo, it's so bad, Travis. The lick and stick guy won't pass it.
Oh, so, yeah. So Bobo's
You
in the
know what
hunt
a
for a
licking
new
stick
car.
guy is?
Yeah, a guy will pass anything.
Right. He won't pass it.
Right.
Right. That's how bad my car is.
All right. So
I'm in dire straits here.
Okay. Well, how long until your inspection runs out?
Oh, it's been out.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're fucked.
Right. I've been driving around with no inspection.
Oh, good for you.
Anyways, so don't narc on me.
Right.
But let me get to the story. So, of course, I read this article. I see my current inspection bill for this car, and I haul my ass down to the local Ford dealership.
Okay.
And this is how I roll for cars, Travis. I don't give a shit about where the dealership is located, who the salesman is. I want to get a car at the best price possible.
Sure.
That's my only fucking objective, is to buy a car cheap.
Right.
Right? Like, that's it. This is the whole point of buying something, is to get the best price possible.
Right.
So I go to the dealership, and I test drive the car, and it's a fun car. It's actually pretty nice. I mean, it's not as nice as the RS, and I'm sure it's not as nice as the Civic Type R, but it's also way less money now.
Right.
You get what you pay for. So I drive it. It drives nice, whatever. And I go to sit down and, like, let's talk numbers. You know what I mean? Let's talk shop.
Right.
And he throws this number down that's not the number on the website.
Like,
and I'm like
higher.
Like higher.
Okay.
Than what they're advertising. And I was like, yeah, like I know that's not really the price of the car.
Right.
And he's like, well, in order to get the advertised price, you have to qualify for all the incentives that we potentially offer on the website.
Okay.
And I said, well, I don't care. And here's why I don't care, Travis. I went to this big volume dealership, okay, down in a very metropolitan area.
Okay.
They had 22 of these Focus STs on the lot.
Right.
The dealership itself had over 150 cars on the lot.
Right.
A big dealership.
Right.
22 Focus STs.
Okay.
The guy had to go and get a battery charger because every single one of the batteries was dead.
Because nobody's test driving them.
Travis, you know how long it takes a brand new battery to go dead sitting in a lot?
Well,
what do you think?
It's less than a year.
It's about 6 months, though.
Okay.
So no one has test driven an ST in 6 months on this lot.
All right.
There's 22 of them.
Right.
Not one of them started. We took the clickers out and clicked every single car before he went to get the battery charger.
All right.
Not one. So I know that, like, they're not selling these fucking cars.
Right.
So I know I'm going to get a fucking deal of a lifetime. So then he sits me down, throws this number, that's not the number, and then starts trying to talk this mumbo jumbo about, oh, well, you need to qualify for these incentives. And I'm looking in the eye, and I'm like, motherfucker, I just saw you jumpstart the car.
Yeah, but you also got to realize he doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's not the owner. He's not the one that's sitting on inventory. He's the one that's selling cars.
You have to know how the process for buying a car works, Travis. That salesman doesn't give a shit. But the finance manager who has to go to approve all the deals,
right?
He's the guy I'm talking to.
Okay.
So I take the piece of paper, and I look at it. Let me see that piece of paper they give you with, like, the price of the car and all the monthly payments that
right.
I'm only paying for the bottom line price.
Okay.
I cross out a number, and I write another number like $2,000 lower than the price he has listed.
Okay.
And I send it back to him with a smiley face on. And I say, go talk to your finance guy. I'll wait.
All right.
And he goes to the finance guy. And the finance guy, I guess, gives him a number, comes back and says, let's meet in the middle. You know, and gives his other number. So I take the number. I make an X through it.
Right.
And I write the same number again. And I pass it back to him.
Right.
And he sighs and walks over to the finance manager. And at this point, it's like I've been there for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I told him when I got there, like, I'm not buying the car today because my wife has to co-sign for everything. And she's not with me.
Right.
So there's no way I'm buying the car today. I'm just talking shop. I'm just talking numbers. And you have to go to the dealership to get the best numbers because this process is barbaric, which I'll get to in a minute.
Right.
So I get the number finally. We haggle and all this bullshit. And we agree on the price. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go now. And I'll be back next Friday with my wife. And we'll sign the paperwork.
Right.
And the guy's like, well, are you going to leave a deposit? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm not leaving a deposit. He's like, well, what if the, and at this point he makes a motion for, like, the finance guy to come over because he sees I'm going to walk without signing anything.
This is the salesman.
Yes.
Okay. And he has agreed to the price that you wanted.
Yes.
Okay.
But he makes a motion to the finance desk guy because he sees I'm going to walk without signing anything.
Right.
Which is like a no-no for them. So they don't let you walk away.
I never buy a car the first day I'm there.
Right. Well, I don't either, but this is the funny part. Right. So there's you know how these places work at dealerships? There's a guy in a cubicle next to me. Right. It's like a low wall cubicle, so I can see the other couple next to me buying this car.
Right.
The finance manager walks up to that guy first and says, "Hey, why don't you take these guys out on the lot and show them like the car being prepped or whatever, the car that they're trying to buy or whatever."
Okay. He's
clearing them out so the finance manager can come harass me.
Right.
I'm serious, because the finance manager comes and sits in the chair of the salesman now and says, "So you're not going to leave a deposit?" I was like, "No, I'm going to come back next week with my wife and we'll just finish it up then." He's like, "Well, why aren't you going to leave a deposit?" And he starts getting like argumentative with me.
Right.
And I'm like, wait, like, what do you care? Like I said, I've been staying here for 2 hours. I don't waste 2 hours of my fucking hard-earned time on the weekend to just dick you around. Like, I'll be back.
Right.
Like, my word's as good as bond. Like, I signed the credit check. You ran my credit, so you've already blew my credit score 4 points in the first place. And B, I just negotiated with your guy for fucking 45 minutes. I'll be fucking back to get that price and get that car.
Right.
He starts, like, bullying me, Travis, into leaving a deposit.
Right.
He's like, "Well, we're getting a lot of calls in these cars." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, then I was like, that got me mad. I was like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." I was like, "I just jump-started the car to test drive."
Right.
You're not getting a fucking better price on this car. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're not getting any offers on these cars. You are desperate to sell them, which is why the price is so cheap. Don't sit down and lie and bully me into leaving a deposit.
Right.
So I got up and left.
Okay.
But I told him, I was like, "I'm leaving. Like, I have other places to be there. I'm leaving." And then he makes the cardinal sin, Travis. He insults me.
Okay.
A salesman or a finance manager of a dealership insults me and says that I am being an ungrateful asshole.
Well, you were, but okay.
But this is business, Travis. You don't insult your customers.
No, I know. I get that.
I literally looked at him. I mean, I stopped.
Yeah.
He said that to me as I'm getting up to leave, and I was like, something like happened in my brain.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember like when I was like 20 and old Bobo used to be cool and argumentative and fiery and wouldn't take shit from anybody. And it was like that scene of Me, Myself, and Irene. Do you remember when he like snaps for the first time?
Right.
That's what happened.
I've been there.
And I looked at the guy right in the eye and I said, "You can suck the shit out of your own ass." Like, I'm fucking leaving. And I just turned and walked. And he started to say something to me, and I just gave him the finger up without looking back at him.
Like the middle finger or the shush finger?
The middle finger.
Oh, the shush finger would have been even funnier.
You know what?
You fucked up.
Well played, Travis. But I was like, who insults their customers like that?
Dude, okay. I'd like to, I'm the funny part about it is as you're telling this story, and I've heard bits and pieces of this story before, but as you're telling this story, it is so reminiscent of the first time I ever bought a new car. And I had a finance manager dick me around not in a similar way, but like, so when I bought my first new car, I went in and I was like, you know, I was talking to him. I was like, we agreed on a price. We're good to go. And the finance manager comes over, or, you know, he comes over and he goes, "Well, who are you financing this through?" And I was like, "Well, I've got a loan set up that I'm gonna use." And he goes, "Well, I can beat their interest rate." And I said, "Okay, show me what you got." You know? And he's like, I'll put together some stuff and I'll give you a call. I said, "Okay, that's fine."
Cool.
So like the next day I called in. I was like, and I called in. They put me to, like, he didn't answer. So I left a voicemail. His name was Greg. "Hey, Greg, calling you. Just wanted to just want to check in on there. I'm all ready, like, to sign with sign with the bank for this loan, but if you can beat it, I'm in. Just, you know, give me a call back." Didn't hear back from him. Called him the next day. Left another message. I called him a third day in a row, and finally he called me back. I had to leave a message, and he called me back, and he goes, "You know, you're not my only customer." I was like, "Excuse me? Like, you're the one who wanted my business. Like,
Jesus Christ!
I didn't even want to use you." Yeah, it was a Volkswagen dealership.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Did you buy the car from them?
I bought the car, but man, did I bitch to the manager. Because I actually liked my salesman. My salesman was fine, and he was willing to go like the extra mile and whatever. And and it was, and that was fine. But this dude was such an asshole. Yeah. I talked to the manager. I was like, listen, like, I don't know what kind of business like you're running here, but this guy told me he was going to do something for me. And when I went to check for it, he became an asshole.
Yeah. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah. It didn't cost him that car. Unfortunately, I should have taken my business elsewhere. But
yeah, you should have. Honestly, like, I would never bought a car from that after that.
However,
if someone's like that to me, like, you say that to me, like, I see red. Like, I just fucking go ballistic.
There's more facets of this story, though.
Okay.
Because when I bought this car, I wanted a specific color and a specific trim.
Okay.
And the guy, like, the salesman was like, hey, like, write down your top three that you want. We'll see what we can get in for you. I was like, okay. So he called me. He's like, we couldn't get your top one in, but we can get in the next one. And I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I'm paying so much money for this car. I don't really want to compromise.
I agree. I don't think you should.
So find me the car I want. And it took them like a month to find the car that I wanted. And in that time, the trade-in that I had broken down. And I literally had it towed in when I went to pick up my old car and just tossed the dude my keys. I was just like, here you go, buddy. I was like, you're giving me the same amount for the trade-in. It's your fault you took that long.
Right.
And yeah. That was
so. What pisses me off is I've had good experiences buying new cars. Also, the new car I bought before this one was it was a different dealership, different company totally. It was a Subaru.
Yeah.
And they could not have been more pleasant to deal with, Travis. Like, I told the guy on the phone, like, this is the price I want to pay. And he's like, okay, let's do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got down there, no dicking me around. We had paperwork signed in 10 minutes, like, in and out. You know what I mean?
Oh, see, I've never had it that fast. That's
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the other problem is the reason I wouldn't leave a deposit with this dealership was, I forgot to mention this, but this is important, is they couldn't confirm the interest rate that they were going to give me.
Right.
Through Ford Credit. And I was like, well, I'm not going to give you a dime without knowing the interest rate. And literally, the finance manager looked me in the eye and said, well, the interest rate doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
And I looked at him and I said, I have an MBA in finance. It absolutely fucking matters.
Listen, you don't need an MBA in finance. Do you like paying more for what you bought?
Right. But my point is, if I give you $500 and then you come out tomorrow and say the interest rate's 12%,
right?
I'm fucked. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, are you out of your goddamn mind? So, like, for so many reasons, I'm not going back to this dealership. I got the number I wanted. I know how low they'll go. I'll go to a different dealership now. These guys can suck my ass.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
But this whole, you had the same experience I had. You had a guy basically insult you saying, we're not my only priority.
Right.
When you're paying him, like, tens of thousands of dollars for a vehicle. I mean, this process, Travis, is barbaric. It's and we're in the 2000s now. Why can't we just have a price for a car, and that's the price? Why do you need salesmen?
Because
what the fuck is the point of this deal? Like, what's the fucking point? Why can't it be like Tesla? Here's the price of the car.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay it? Yes. Here's your car. No? Go fuck yourself.
I wish that was the case, but yes, you're right. It's not. But I will tell you, that and some of my other experiences when I bought my Volkswagen is a reason why I'll never own another Volkswagen. Like,
exactly. They turn you off to the whole company.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, literally, there was one time I took my car in. I forget what it was for, what it was there for. But I'm standing at the desk to pay my bill for whatever was in the shop for, and I look out the window, like the door was off to my left-hand side, and I look out the door, and across the lot, I can see a salesman talking to some people, leaning on my car.
Oh.
And now, I will tell you, he was probably a good 50 feet away from the door. And I just turned to the lady that was checking me out. I was like, excuse me for a second. I opened up the door and I yelled, hey, get off my fucking car. And just closed the door and finished my paying.
Dude, he deserves that. Salesmen are fucking scumbags.
Yeah, like what? Who the fuck leans on other cars as you're in a lot?
And so I know we're bitching about car people a lot, but let me tell you my experience with the car salesman. The guy I was buying the car from, the salesman, he was fine. He was pleasant.
Sure.
He was cordial. He knew nothing about cars.
Well, yeah, that's not.
But like, it used to be if you were selling a product back in the day, Travis.
Right.
You know, back when our parents were, whatever, when boys were men,
right.
They knew what they were selling.
Boys were men.
I mean, this guy didn't know dick about cars.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of like, oh, yeah, the car's nice. I was like, yeah, I used to have a bunch of, I was talking like about other turbo cars I'd had in the past, turbo 4-cylinders. And I could tell, like, I started talking shop with him about cars, and he was just like, yeah, bro. And I'm like, motherfucker, why are you selling cars if you don't like cars?
Because most people going into buying a Ford are not going to talk that kind of talk. Like,
dude, I don't know, man. I bought other cars from other dealerships, and like I bought like Hyundais.
Yeah.
The guy knew everything about the car. Knew about cars, talked about cars, liked cars. I think you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Men like cars. That's a common thing.
Sure. I get that. I feel like the car salesman is, it's not I guess it could be a lucrative profession, but it's going to be a terrible
I don't think any longer it can be for these lower quality dealerships.
Maybe. I don't know. But
I mean, it's obvious the guy knew dick about the product he was selling me. So.
And I mean, it's a terrible existence. Yes. I would not.
It's awful. Your sales, it's fucking terrible because you got a lot of people like me that don't want to be dicked around, and I'm not going to be very nice to you about it after a while. I'm sorry. That's just the way I'm fucking wired. Like, I don't want to be dicked around when I'm spending $20,000+ on something. Right.
Absolutely.
Like, there is no way you're going to push me around for that much money. Like, I'm not a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't happening, motherfucker. Like, yeah. I'm trying to buy a $5, fucking pack of gum or something. Maybe I'll take your fucking shit. Because I just want to chew some gum.
Yeah.
But when I got to own this thing for 10 years and put 200,000 miles on it, right. I ain't fucking taking your lip, motherfucker.
Yeah. And that's, that's where it all boils down to. You like, I understand what you're going, or what you're saying and what you're going through. Cause like, yeah, you really don't want to, but the way that it typically works, if they can keep you there for like 2 hours, they're going to break you down. You're going to buy the car.
Right.
Cause like,
not me.
Yeah. Cause, like the last car that I bought, I walked to the dealership and Mandy and I went and we test drove the car, and I really hadn't planned on buying that car. No, let me put it differently. I hadn't ultimately planned on buying that car, and I definitely wasn't going to buy it that day. And we walked in, I was like, all right, like, I'm not buying it today, man, just so you know, like, it's not happening. So we're going to talk some prices, but it's not happening today. And like, he's like, okay. And we left, and I got a call the next day. Hey, I got some more money off that car. Like, right. So it's, and we spent like a couple hours there. But they really, he's like, wait, man, why don't you just pick it up today? Wouldn't it be nice to drive home in a new car today? Like, yeah, it would be nice, but I'm not fucking doing it, man.
See, I'll do it because I do my research before I walk in the door, so I kind of know when I'm getting a good deal or not. You know what I mean? Like, I read the article on the ST, so I knew what other people were paying for it.
Yeah.
And I did more research, so and then I go in there, and what I did, Travis, what I usually do is I write the first price on that piece of paper that is so low they laugh at me. And I'm like, and they laugh at me, and I'm like, yeah, take it to the finance guy. And he goes, I'm not doing it. And I was like, okay, then I'll leave. He's like, oh, hang on. And I was like, yeah, I know you're gonna do it, motherfucker. Go, lackey. Like, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking mouth breather. Go talk to your finance dick. But see, Animal won't go with me to buy these things anymore because I've embarrassed her so badly about doing them.
Right.
So, what's the other industry, Travis, that's worse than cars for buying things?
Oh, I don't know.
What's the worst industry for buying shit you can possibly imagine?
I don't know. What is it?
Timeshares. So timeshare salesmen are like the scum of the earth.
You're really gonna get into timeshares?
But listen, my point is, like, they offer you like those free tickets and free things when you're on vacation if you go sit through a presentation.
Sure.
But they do high pressure sales at the end, and a lot of people do actually end up buying them. They work, or they wouldn't do this industry.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, I understand that. And honestly, I almost got a nuts. I almost went on one of those trips not too long ago.
I go on them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why wouldn't you?
And I'm cause I don't want to waste people's time when I kind of know I'm not going to buy something. Like I had intended to buy this Focus. Let's be honest. Okay. And I'm going to buy one from a different dealership probably on Friday.
Okay.
But I had intended to buy it, so I don't feel bad pushing people around to get what I want. Now, when it comes to like, you're going to offer me free stuff to sit through your high pressure sales, but there's no obligation to buy, and I know I'm not going to buy.
Right.
I'm not going to waste your time. So I'm going to be needlessly cruel to you just to get me out of your hair so you don't waste your time with me.
I haven't been on one of these trips, but I really do kind of want to go on one.
They sit you down at the desk with this lady, okay?
Right.
And it's a lady this time. And she's like, rate your, willingness to buy this timeshare. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your initial interest level? And I look her in the eye and I say 0.
Right. And
she looks at me and I say, listen, lady, like, I'm here to scam you. I'm in bankruptcy right now. There is no way I can pay for this. Like, and you'll never even get me past the credit score. Like, there's no way. Like, we have no money. We're broke. We're here doing it for free because we want to have some fun, and we have no other way of doing it.
Right. That's a good. Hey, actually, that's a really good way out to get out of it.
And the funny part was, like, Anne looks so embarrassed because I'm embarrassing her. She's like shifting in her chair, and she's like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me, Matt. You're not doing this to someone right now."
Why?
And but she sells it because she looks so embarrassed. Like, she's red in the face. So the lady takes one look at her, and basically it confirms that I'm not lying to them, even though I actually am lying to their face.
Right.
But so, yeah.
But okay. But I guess my question, and this is more of a question for Anne, is why would you be embarrassed about that? It's a great lie because it lets them down gently. It's not that they're that they're shitty salespeople and can't talk you into anything. It's that you can lead them to believe that there is no way you can afford it.
I think that Anne is just like embarrassed that like I'm basically like being so like upfront with this lady saying I'm not fucking buying your shit. Right. I don't know. Yeah. Women get weird like that. I'm sure Manny would be uncomfortable too.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. That would make it even more fun.
Oops. I took my seatbelt thing. I moved it and it beeped. That's weird.
See, folks, he is recording from his car.
Yeah, that's proof right there. Anyway, but it's just women have this thing where like they have shame. And like you cheap bastards like you and I, Travis, we don't have that because I'm going to get the best deal possible. And I don't care. Like, I don't know this timeshare guy. I don't give a fuck if he knows me. Yes. I don't know this car dick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so sales in general, like the car sales are really pissing me off. Timeshares everyone knows are scum. That's not worth arguing about. So
right. Although I am intrigued now. So now I need to seek out a timeshare so I can go get the presentation.
Some of the best deals are if you go to Disney or go to Vegas.
Yeah,
because they'll give you like free tickets to shows or free tickets to like a theme park.
Yeah, there was one that like sent us a thing to go to Florida, and we were gonna do it, but then we just couldn't. So like,
yeah,
but I do kind of want to go sit through one of those presentations just so I can tell them to fuck off at the end.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm not buying one. Like, there's no way. I just don't want to waste the time more than I have to. But trust me, when I said bankruptcy, like it gets them out. Like they're like, oh. Like, they basically get me out of there, like, within half the time everybody else.
Nice. I'll have to remember that one.
Oh, yeah, dude. Dude, if you want to make some free money, stick with Bobo, man. You and I together, Travis, we could scam the world with free shit.
I feel like we could. I feel like we'd be pretty good at it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm proud of or ashamed of it, but you're right. I feel like we'd be very good at it.
I'm certainly not ashamed of it. When our wives become tired of us, which is like any day now, I feel like we should probably just move in together and just live the rest of our lives couponing.
We'll have to start like our own show on public access called Bobo and Travis Scamming America. And it's just us, like, going to Chick-fil-A and taking the ketchup packets and squeezing them into a bottle at our house and stuff. Like, this is how we get free ketchup.
Yeah. Tune in next week when I go to a McDonald's and get free toilet paper.
Yeah, right. I got all the straws I could ever possibly want.
Dude, you can literally go rob a Starbucks right now and they wouldn't do anything to you.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it is open season on Starbucks. If you walk behind the counter and made your own drink, right, they would look at you and you'd be like, what? I'll call. I'm
being oppressed. Help.
Yeah, I'll call your CEO right now if you say a word. Yeah,
I mean, did you see they just changed their policy that anybody can use their bathrooms?
Anytime, no matter what, customer or not. So in addition to getting free coffee, you can also get free hair needles at Starbucks. It's a pretty good deal, right?
I like it. Hey, free is free. Nothing that's free is bad, right?
No. So, Travis, what other industries are pissing you off? You got any other industries that are really just... Because I got at least one more, but I want to hear what you've got to say.
I mean, I don't like... Here's I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit for these episodes. These episodes are, like, stuff that pisses you off. Like, they're so hard for me because unless I'm in the moment, I really do a pretty good job at forgetting all of them.
Oh, well, that's good because my memory lasts for fucking ever.
Yeah, no, when it comes to like this kind of stuff, I'm just like, all right, what pisses me off? And the go-to and the easy one is Comcast. Like that's always good.
Yeah, I feel like cable company is such an easy out though.
It really is, and that's why I don't really want to bring it up. But like that's our easy target. Although it's funny because in my house we have a rule where I deal with Comcast and I do all that I can to get those those bills lowered, and then Mandy deals with our satellite radio. Does all that she can to get those bills lowered.
Okay, that's fair.
She actually she got pretty good at like calling up Sirius and being like, "Listen, I want it for this price for the next 6 months."
Nice.
And she's like, and they're like, "Okay, yeah." We've been going on the like the introductory deal for probably 3 years now.
Good for you.
I know I've trained her pretty well with that kind of stuff. But yeah.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm like the only person. I'm in probably the smallest minority. I have literally no problem with Comcast.
Really? Like none?
I have never had a billing dispute with them. I've never had a service problem with them. I've never had a bad customer service rep. I have no issues with Comcast.
See, our internet sucks. And
mine's great for where I live. I can't ask for more.
Yeah, like I wish, and I've called them about it, and I've had service calls about it. And it works for a little while. I've changed my modem. I've done all the bullshit. Now, I will not rent anything from them,
no.
Like, modem-wise. But, I've done it all. And our internet has always sucked.
That sucks, man. I'm the minority that's never had an issue with Comcast. Like, you can complain about it. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I've never had an issue.
Yeah, so good for you. That's
I know, right?
But, I don't know. I'm trying to think of another industry that has really, really bothered me.
All right, let me give you one while you think.
Okay.
Because this one also, I'm fucking sick of contractors.
Okay.
I think they're fucking scam artists.
And
here's why.
Okay.
So, Travis.
Yes.
I need a new liner for my pool.
Okay.
So I've been going out and getting quotes for a new liner for my pool.
Right.
I don't know if it's just pool liners or pool people, but pool salesmen are awful at pricing whatever they want from me. They're awful at pricing pool liners because every single person comes out to my house, Travis. This is what they do, okay?
Sure.
They come to my fucking house, they look at my pool, they take some measurements, and then they say, so what kind of quotes you get from other people? And I literally look and I'm like, I'm not telling you that.
Right.
And then they all go, oh, okay. And they're like, well, we'll get back to you about it. And guess what? The next day, their boss calls me up. This has happened from more than one company, by the way, okay?
Okay.
Their boss will call me up and say, so listen, man, this is actually going to be a really good deal. Like, if you tell us what price you're getting from the other guys, like, we'll beat it.
So make something up.
Oh, I tried that, and they laughed at me.
Okay.
So they want to see the quote. They won't do it without the actual quote.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, so have you gotten any actual quotes?
No.
Because nobody will give you an actual quote.
Nobody. I'm not even joking right now. Right now, I've had 5 people come out to my house to give me a quote for my pool liner. I don't have one firm price for you.
Really?
Really.
That's insane. Now, okay.
They all want to know what everybody else is charging so they can fucking try to undercut them by $5. But they won't. No one has the balls to go and give themselves a price and commit to it.
Wow, it's
fucking ridiculous, Travis.
That's infuriating.
The only person I have faith in is I was calling around places to get a quote.
Yeah.
I actually met the guy randomly on the phone who installed the original pool liner like 20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to give me a quote, and he's just going to give me a price when he gets it done this week.
So, okay. Oh wait, he's gonna just do it for you?
Yes. Well, he's going to be the one I pick because he's the only one that's going to give me a real price.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. Are you going to try to shop around then?
No.
Okay, so they fucked themselves by not giving you a price.
Well, dude, if you don't tell me how much you think it's going to cost to put my pool liner in, I don't trust you to fuck me when you're done with the process. Say, well, it costs this much more, actually.
Well, you would theoretically you would sign a contract with them.
Yeah, but I don't trust and honor it.
Okay.
If that's the integrity they have up front, I'm not fucking trusting with anything.
Now, here's my next question for you. So you get this quote from this guy for the pool liner. You're going to go with him anyways. Are you going to call the other companies and tell them, like, hey, you fucked up? Like,
oh yeah, oh dude, are you kidding me?
Well,
it's Bobo you're talking to here.
Yeah, but you also make it you make a point about your time. So I wasn't sure if you were going to take the time to really rub it in their faces.
That's different. See, this is pleasure.
Okay.
If I'm calling up someone just to fucking give them shit and harass them for being an asshole, I mean, that's just pleasure. That's not wasting time. That's like my hobby.
Can you do me a favor? Can you try to record these conversations and get their permission to use it for the podcast?
I don't get the permission. I'll just fucking use them anyways. I'll just bleep their name.
All right, that's fine. Then
that's actually a really good idea.
Find a way to record these conversations because I'd like to hear it.
Google Voice records conversations. You press 4.
There we go. Done and done.
That's a great idea.
Yep. Yes, it is. So
okay, I'm going to get some of these conversations. So yeah, pool liner or pool salesman are also fucking like infuriating me. So.
Yeah, like I don't. Okay, this is going to be a very vague story because I was a kid and I don't really know all the details. But for some reason, and this may just go. This is just gonna go towards your pool guy thing. We had a pool when we were a kid, and my parents switched over to a system that I told you about called Caribbean Clear, and it was a system that kind of regulated regulated everything with like copper ions. It was nice because there was no chlorine in it, but you didn't get like algae and bullshit like that. So it was really cool. But for some reason, we were not allowed to mention that at all when we went to the pool supply store to buy like other supplies. I don't remember. I have no idea why.
Because they won't sell them to you if you don't buy them.
Dude, I got the feeling. Yes, I got the feeling that like there was something kind of shady going on where like they would like shun you if you use this system.
I can see that. Pool salesmen sound like the kind of scumbags that would do that.
Right. I mean, because
based on my limited interaction with them.
It literally like it made it so you didn't need their chemicals except for like once a year. Huh. So it really was a nice system and it saved us money. So
good.
Yeah,
good.
But I don't know. But I'm not gonna lump pool guys in with general contractors. Although I'm sure there's a lot of shitty ones out there, but I don't know.
The other industry, we don't have a lot of time. I want to get to end times. And
right.
We're getting the right time. The other industry I want to talk about at some point is personal finance managers.
Okay,
financial advisors.
We got a couple minutes if you want to dive into this one a little bit.
I think they're fucking scum of the earth.
Okay.
Because I think people like way overcomplicate personal finance.
In what way? Like, because
you don't need to pay a guy money to tell you to put money in your 401k.
Right.
Because you know what? Just put money in your 401k.
Sure, absolutely.
Like it's not fucking hard. Like finances are very simple. Okay. Step 1, Travis. Right. You pay off your bills from the highest interest rate down to the lowest. And you pay your house off last because your house can be used on your taxes.
Right.
Okay? That's step 1. Step 2 is you need 3 months of your salary as an emergency fund in cash.
Okay.
Step 3 is save for retirement. How much do you save, Travis? As much as you possibly can afford. Like, that's it. And how do you save, Travis? You get a broad market mutual fund or a broad market index fund or some kind of like very general fund like that.
Right? No. Right there. That is it. Okay. That's where I'm all in with you. I know how to do my finances. I know how to do everything. Everything you say is common sense right up until you say a broad market mutual fund.
Why is that not common sense?
Because I don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay. Well, you know what? You go on Google and you type in top mutual funds and you find one that says like Vanguard 500 or something like that that mimics the S&P 500, put it in that.
Okay. And what is
something safe? But, don't be putting your money in fucking Bitcoin unless you want to lose it all, or if you're Bobo and just want to double down on the crazy.
How is that Bitcoin doing?
It's listen.
How much is it below what you bought in?
Oh, I bought in years ago also, so I had some savings from that when it was much lower than it is now still.
What's the current roundabout price?
It's about $9,000 a coin right now.
Oh, okay. So it's still kind of up.
I'm still buying, by the way. People that don't know, Bobo's other tip, I'm still buying Bitcoin. Okay. A lot of it.
But okay.
I don't talk about it because it's not fun right now. But guess what? When it's not fun, that's when you buy.
Okay, all right. I understand. So, I guess I'm confused as to what I should be actually putting my money into for investments. Like, should I?
You should be putting it into most 401ks don't give you a lot of options. They give you like an option based on when you think you're going to retire and what plan to put it in based on that. Follow that guidance.
Should I be trying to set up a 401k on my own or just go through my jobs?
Through your jobs.
Okay. If you're doing it on your own,
if you need to get like an IRA or whatever, you just get like a broad market one. Don't be getting any of these weird fancy ones that salesmen are trying to pitch to you. Just get a broad market with low fees. Just go online and Google and look for the best ones. It's not that hard. They're making it way more complex than it has to be. And that's finances. If you have more money than that, then you need to be hiring someone like a tax lawyer.
Right, but you're right. Okay. What you're saying doesn't sound hard, but the problem is what you're saying also is overwhelming in the sense that there are many options out there, and when it comes to money, no one wants to get fucked on their money.
And that's why I think financial advisors are scum of the earth, because they've made all these options out there to confuse you, to make it more complicated than it is.
Right. Oh, sure, but...
So fuck them.
Okay, good. Fuck them. Great. But we're now in this climate of where there's all these options. So what the fuck do I do? Like, that's the problem. So, like... I mean,
no, you're right. It is a problem. That's why I hate them. That's why the industry is fucking garbage, Travis, because they've made all these fucking options when they should all just be telling you to invest in, like, a broad market index fund. Like, it's not complicated.
I know, but this conversation has not made me feel any better about what I should do. So... I'm just gonna become a Walmart people greeter when I'm 65 and work the rest of my life.
Or do that.
Hopefully till 66, and then that'll be it.
Great.
All right. See, let's move to end times.
So, welcome to End Times, where Bobo and Travis bitch about what happened the last 2 weeks with their technical difficulties. So, Travis, would you like to explain to the listeners how we fixed last week's problem?
Yeah, right. Sure. I'll explain. So if you didn't get the gist of it last week, I turned on my podcasting rig that I have here in my house, and it didn't recognize an integral piece of hardware that we have.
The interface.
Right. So and that basically sends the signal to the computer so we can record. So there was no way that we could record last week. So we came to the conclusion it's probably going to have to be we have to uninstall software and reinstall software, which includes resetting all of the settings that we've set up over the past year or 2 years.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which for people that don't understand, like, this is not like just installing Microsoft Word.
Right, yeah.
Like, this software has a lot of options for it. It's very complicated, and it would take hours to reinstall and install, and then to test it, make sure we have everything back, the levels right, all the settings right for the inputs and the outputs. Like, we have a real professional recording.
Right. So it was going to be a pain in the ass.
Yes, a colossal pain in the ass.
Right. And Bobo and I were going to get together and do it and take care of it. But we decided that I was going to try to just shut everything down, give it a couple days, bring it back up, let's see what happens. So I got it back up, and I had the same problem. Then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to update my computer and just because I purposely don't update this computer just in case it fucks something up. Because that has been known to happen.
Right.
So I said, fuck it. I'm going to update this computer and just see what happens. So I updated the computer. I brought back up the recording rig. Still didn't work. And I was like, God damn it. So I shut everything down, restarted it all. I switched the USB port that I was using in the back, and all of a sudden it came back up. So I was like, oh shit, it was just the USB port. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I switched the USB port, still didn't work. I switched to another one, and then it came back up.
So you tried 2 USB ports that didn't work.
Sure.
Switched it to a third one, and that one worked.
Yes. And
so somehow we broke 2 USB ports on your computer.
You'd think, wouldn't you? From all of that deducing, you would think that those USB ports don't work.
Right.
So I was like, fuck, okay, that was what it was. Although I checked that the other night when we were trying to record. But anyways, so I was like, okay, so I was like, let me just check this again. I put it back in the original USB port and it worked again. It worked.
So wait. Let me summarize.
Right.
You unplugged it from USB port A.
Uh-huh.
Put it in USB port B.
Right.
Didn't work.
Right.
So you put it from B into C.
Yep.
C worked.
C works.
And then you put it from C back into A, and now A works also.
Yes.
So you're recording with the exact same setup we had last week.
Yeah, well, and I had also switched the USB cord that I was using.
Right.
So I had a whole new USB cord. So I was like, okay, maybe it was the USB cord. I put in the old one. I am recording with the same exact setup that we've always had.
If you still think Macs are better than PCs after that ordeal, you can go fuck yourself.
Oh no, you're absolutely wrong. Listen, and I don't know. I don't know if you're just trying to
listen. I'm Travis. As from one friend or another, Bill Gates, he'd never do that to you.
I don't know if you're just trying to be funny.
He's like Pepperidge Farm, man. He's always there.
Or if you have selective memory. But do you remember when we tried to record on PCs in the first place, and the coding that we had to do to get a simple interface working?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. That's yeah. I don't want to fucking hear it. Yes, I understand. We had some problems with our Mac, and I am not. I have both Mac and PC. I'm generally PC because I'm cheap, but if you think that for recording that Mac isn't better, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Listen, Travis, the only thing I got from that story is that we have to go to Linux, all right? Because that's what all the smart people talk about.
Yes. All right. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna
we're gonna record the Ubuntu from now on.
We're gonna start recording on a boombox and then just playing it for a microphone. I don't know, but yeah, I will agree with you. It was a complete. I don't understand what fixed it. I don't get that. But it happens with every computer, and it certainly is not exclusive to Macs.
It's just fucking frustrating. We spent hours. Like we switched the cable. We switched from one port to a second port, and none of that worked.
Right.
So, like, a rational person, if you switch from one USB port to a second USB port and it didn't work, you wouldn't start trying all of them because you would think, oh, well, another port didn't work. They're not all broken.
We thought it was a bad cord.
Right. So we switched the cord. Still didn't work. So then we thought it was just a software issue at that point.
Right.
Turns out, no, you just got to wait 3 days, plug it into a different port, and then plug it back in originally how it used to be, then it all works.
For those for those listeners that can remember, and I understand this is going to be an old reference, but for those listeners that can remember the old original original Nintendo, where you had to blow in the goddamn cartridge, you had to slide it back and forth just to get it to work. That's kind of like what this was.
It's exactly what it was. You know, you didn't put the game in a different slot. You just kind of put it in again, and then eventually it worked.
Right.
And you know what? Fuck that. Technology. And then this week with I lost power, which was whatever, it figures, right?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't restore power, and it's unfortunate because again, we kind of backed ourselves into a corner where we couldn't record any later than today. So, you know. It is what it is. We're hopefully going to get that remedied here in the next week or so. And
we're working on it.
And then we'll be back to churning out the episodes that you know and love and that sound halfway decent.
The number is 747 banging.
747-226-4464.
Go ahead and call in and let us know how bad this episode sounded. Thanks for that.
Yeah, what do you think about about an hour long episode?
Is it? You know what? I'm glad to be back at it.
Yeah, me too.
1 week off is 1 week too many.
I tell you what, I'm using an old piece of scrap paper here to just kind of jot out some notes while we're recording. And this one's an old one because it was when we were trying to figure out our number that we were going to use, the 747 banging.
Yeah.
One of our options was ego fuck. I don't know why we didn't go with that one, but I like 747 banging.
I do too. Although 669 Big Gulp was also a good one.
Yeah, you're right. So
yeah, that was a good one too. Anyways, pwthepodcast.com. It's PW the Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the social media stuff.
Right.
You can find us Prestige Worldwide the Podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, all that nonsense.
Yep.
And we'll be back and sounding normal again next week.
That's true. I do have a bit of an update.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the polls are fixed, but the recent polls are fixed.
Good.
And it is overwhelming that it is creepy that you call your dog my girl. I will say that for this week, the poll is going to be: have you ever wanted to strangle the life out of a car salesman? So go to PW the Podcast and vote, or check us out, on all of our social medias, and we post a picture. You can vote on that as well. So
yes.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that.
Great. You got anything else, Travis?
I think that's all for me.
All right. I'll see you guys next week.
See you next Thursday.
Go Caps.
You're supposed to wait for the silence.